100 Farmalls showed up at his door. From someone he helped, they arrived at dawn. 100 red tractors, Farmall, MH, C, Super M, Super C, 300, 350, 400, 450, models from 1939 to 1960, parked in perfect rows across David Werner's front field. Keys in every ignition, titles stacked on his porch. No note, no explanation, no sender. David stood there in his bathrobe, coffee cup halfway to his mouth, staring at what had to be $3 million worth of vintage tractors on his Iowa farm. His wife Ann came out, looked, blinked, looked again. David, why are there 100 tractors in our field? I have absolutely no idea, but someone knew, someone planned this. Someone spent years collecting these machines. Someone wanted David to have them. The question wasn't what. The question was who and why. This is the story of finding out. Of uncovering a debt David didn't know he was owed. Of discovering that kindness compounds in ways we never see. But we're starting at the end. At the result, at 100 Farmalls, appearing like magic. Now let's work backwards. Find out how we got here. Asterisk, 3 days before, December 15, 2025, asterisk, a law firm in Des Moines receives instructions, meticulous instructions. Coordinate delivery of 100 tractors to specific address, dawn of December 18th, precise formation, keys and titles prepared. The lawyer, Patricia Chen, reads the instructions 3 times. This is insane, she tells her assistant. It's also legally binding and fully funded. Who does this? Who gives away $3 million in tractors? Someone who wanted to, anonymously. Patricia has handled estate planning for 40 years, never seen anything like this. The instructions are clear. The funding is solid. The tractors are purchased and ready. Her job is execution, not understanding, though she'd very much like to understand. Asterisk, 6 months before June 2025, asterisk, a collector in Minnesota gets an unusual offer. Someone wants to buy his entire collection of Farmall tractors, all 73 of them. They're not for sale, he tells the buyer's representative. Everything's for sale, at the right price. What's the right price for a lifetime of collecting? $2 million. Cash. Immediate transfer. The collector thinks about that, thinks about retirement, thinks about his wife who wants to travel. Why? Why does someone want my entire collection? Can't disclose that. Client confidentiality. Are they going to preserve them or part them out? Preserve, guaranteed in writing. They're being gifted to someone who'll appreciate them. The collector agrees. $2 million cash, contract guarantees preservation. Collection moves to Iowa. Asterisk, 1 year before, December 2024, asterisk, a wealthy businessman in Chicago is dying, terminal cancer. Months left. His name is Robert Harrison, self-made billionaire, started with nothing, built an empire. He's liquidating assets, settling affairs, making final arrangements. His lawyer asks about his estate plan. Most goes to charity, foundations, research, the usual, and the personal bequests. There's one. It's unusual. I need your help making it happen. What kind of bequest? I want to give someone 100 Farmall tractors. The lawyer's pen stops moving. I'm sorry. What? You heard me. 100 vintage Farmall tractors. Best examples you can find. Deliver them anonymously. May I ask why? Because I owe a debt. A debt I can never fully repay, but I can try. To whom? I'll tell you the story. Then you'll understand. Asterisk, 43 years before, summer 1982, asterisk, Robert Harrison is 19 years old, broke, hitchhiking across Iowa, running from a bad situation in Chicago. He's got $20, a backpack, no prospects. A farmer picks him up outside Cedar Rapids. Older guy, maybe 50, driving an old pickup. Where you headed? Anywhere that's not here. That's a lot of places. Any specific anywhere. Somewhere I can work. Somewhere I can start over. The farmer studies him. You running from the law? No, sir. Just from bad decisions. Those are harder to outrun. They drive in silence. The farmer's thinking, I'm David Werner. I farm 800 acres outside Riverside. Harvest is coming. I need help. Pays not much. Food and a place to sleep in the bunkhouse. $100 a week, cash. I'll take it. Don't you want to know what the work is? Don't care. I need work. You're offering work. I'll do whatever it takes. David nods, sees something in this kid. Desperation, yes, but also determination. All right, we'll try it for a week. See if you can handle it. Robert handles it. Barely. The work is brutal. Harvest, 16-hour days, manual labor he's never done. He's soft, city kid. Blisters turn to calluses, sunburn turns to tan, weakness turns to strength. David watches, doesn't coddle him, but doesn't abuse him either. Just works alongside him, teaching by example. After a month, David raises his pay to $150 a week. You've earned it. Thank you, sir. Stop calling me sir. Makes me feel old. David's fine. They work through fall, into winter. Robert stays, helps with maintenance, learns equipment repair. David's teaching him, not just farming, life skills, work ethic, integrity. Robert's absorbing it, all of it, like a sponge, starved for knowledge. Asterisk, asterisk, spring 1983, asterisk, asterisk, planting season. Robert's been with David for 9 months now. They're working on a Farmall M50-year-old tractor. David's favorite, prod. Why do you like this old tractor so much? Robert asks. Because it works. Because I can fix it. Because it was my father's. Some things matter beyond utility. It's just a machine. No, it's a connection. To my father. To the land. To continuity. Machines can be more than machines. Robert doesn't understand. Not yet, but he files it away. Remembers. David's wife, Anne, brings lunch to the field. Meets Robert properly for the first time. David says, "You're a good worker." I try. He doesn't give compliments easy. If he says you're good, you're good. That evening, Anne asks David about Robert. What's his story? Why is a smart kid like that hitchhiking across Iowa? He's running. From what? I don't know. From who he was. Trying to become someone else. Are you helping him? I'm giving him space to help himself. There's a difference. Asterisk, asterisk, summer 1983, asterisk, asterisk, Robert's been there a year, saved every penny, has $6,000 now. David knows he won't stay forever. Kids like Robert are passing through, learning, growing, moving on. That's okay. David's job isn't to keep him, it's to prepare him. One evening, they're fixing fence, talking. What are you going to do with your life, Robert? I don't know yet, but I know I want to build something, create something that lasts. Like what? I don't know. But watching you farm, watching you build this operation, watching you create value from dirt and work, that means something. Farming's not for everyone, no, but the principles are. Work hard, stay honest, build for the long term. Those principles work anywhere. David nods. The kid gets it. Whatever he does, he'll be okay. Asterisk, asterisk, fall, 1983, asterisk, asterisk, Robert tells David he's leaving, heading to college, community college first, then transfer. I saved $8,000 working for you. That's 2 years of school, if I'm careful. You earned it. What are you studying? Business. Economics. I want to understand how money works, how to create it, how to build with it. Good choice. You've got the mind for it. Robert extends his hand. David shakes it. Thank you, for everything. For picking me up, for giving me a chance, for teaching me. You taught yourself, I just provided conditions. Still, I owe you. Someday I'll pay it back. You don't owe me anything. Pass it forward, instead. Help some other kid who needs it. Robert nods, but inside, he's making a promise. Someday, somehow, he'll repay David Werner. Asterisk, 20 years later, minus 2003, asterisk, Robert Harrison is 40 years old, CEO of a tech company worth $300 million, self-made success story. He never forgot David Werner, never forgot that year on the farm, never forgot the lessons. He tries to find David, searches, discovers David's still farming, same place, Riverside, Iowa. Robert wants to visit, wants to thank him, wants to show him what that year created, but he doesn't. Why? Pride, fear, uncertainty. What if David doesn't remember him? What if the connection Robert feels isn't reciprocated, so he doesn't visit, but he doesn't forget. He watches from a distance. Asterisk, 2010, asterisk, Robert's company goes public. He's worth $1 billion now, literally. He thinks about David, about that Farmall David loved, about machines being more than machines. He starts collecting Farmalls, quietly, through intermediaries. Best examples, restored, perfect, not for himself, for someday, for the debt he still feels. 2015, asterisk, Robert's collection is 60 tractors now. He stores them in a climate-controlled warehouse, maintains them, preserves them. His wife asks why. I owe someone who changed my life, so give them back. Why wait? Because I'm not done yet. When I give them, I want it to mean something, want it to be complete. How many is complete? I'll know when I get there. Asterisk, 2020, asterisk, 100 tractors. Roberts achieved his goal. 100 perfect Farmalls, every major model, every year from 1939 to 1960, worth $3 million, represents 15 years of collecting, thousands of hours of hunting, restoring, perfecting. He's ready to give them to David, almost ready. Then COVID hits, world shuts down, plans pause. Robert waits. Asterisk, 2024, asterisk, cancer diagnosis. Stage 4, terminal. Maybe a year. Robert's 61. David must be 90-something now. Maybe dead. Robert investigates. David's alive, 92, still living on the farm. Retired, but present. Time's running out. For both of them, Robert makes arrangements. Legal instructions, delivery protocols, anonymous transfer. Why anonymous? His lawyer asks. Because David taught me it's not about recognition, it's about the act, about passing it forward, about completing circles. He might not know who sent them. He'll figure it out, eventually. And when he does, he'll understand. Asterisk, December 18, 2025. Back to the beginning, asterisk, David Werner stands in his field. 100 red Farmalls, perfect, beautiful, impossible. His son Tom comes over, looks, whistles. Dad, what is this? I don't know. Someone sent them. No note. They walk through the rows. Every tractor starts. Every one runs perfect. Every one is museum quality. Tom finds something, a small plaque on the first tractor. The Farmall M in the front row. Dad, look at this. The plaque reads, to David Werner, in gratitude for summer 1982. You taught me that machines can be more than machines, that work teaches character, that kindness creates debts that can never be fully repaid, but I tried. Thank you for saving my life. R.H. David reads it 3 times, his hands shaking. R.H. Robert Harrison, who, a kid I hired in 1982, hitchhiker, needed work, needed direction. I gave him a job for a year. What happened to him? David pulls out his phone. Googles Robert Harrison. Finds obituaries. Dated December 10, 2025. Billionaire, philanthropist, self-made, Chicago. Started with nothing, died of cancer, age 61. David sits down on the Farmall M, the one his father owned, the one Robert asked about 43 years ago. Machines can be more than machines. He's crying now, old man tears, grateful tears. I didn't know, he tells Tom. I had no idea what happened to him. I thought he just moved on, forgot about us. He didn't forget, Dad. He remembered everything. The tractors sit in perfect rows, 100 monuments to gratitude, 100 thank yous for 1 year of kindness. David Werner gave a broken kid a chance. Robert Harrison spent 40 years saying thank you. Asterisk, asterisk, 2 weeks later, December 30th, asterisk, asterisk, David makes a decision. He can't keep all 100 tractors, doesn't need them, can't use them, but he knows what to do with them. He contacts trade schools, agricultural programs, FFA chapters, small farmers who need equipment. I'm giving these away to people who'll use them, who'll preserve them, who'll pass forward the gift I was given. 90 tractors find new homes, working homes, teaching homes, grateful homes. David keeps 10, the models that mean something. The Farmall M his father owned, a Super M from 1952, an HACA 450, machines that are more than machines, connections, continuity, gratitude. Tom asks why he's giving them away. Because that's what Robert would have wanted. He didn't give me these to hoard. He gave them to pass forward, to continue the cycle of kindness. How do you know? Because I knew him. For 1 year, 43 years ago, but I knew him, knew his heart. This is what he'd want. The story spreads. Man receives 100 tractors from someone he helped decades ago, gives most away to continue the cycle. News covers it. Documentaries film it. People are inspired. But David doesn't care about attention, cares about completion. Robert's debt is paid, overpaid, impossibly repaid. But more than that, Robert's lesson is learned, passed forward, multiplied. 1 year of kindness, 1 chance given, 1 kid taught, created a billionaire who never forgot, who spent 40 years collecting gratitude, who gave it all back and then some. David sits on his porch now, 92 years old, looking at the 10 Farmalls he kept. Each one starts first try, each one runs perfect, each one gleams, more than machines. They're Robert's voice, saying thank you, saying you mattered, saying I never forgot, and David hears it. Every time an engine starts, every time red paint catches the sun. He gave a desperate kid 1 year. That kid gave him 100 Farmalls. Both gifts were worth more than money. Both gifts changed everything. That's the story. That's the truth. 100 Farmalls showed up at his door. From someone he helped. Someone who spent a lifetime finding a way to say thank you that would match the gift he was given. And somehow, impossibly, he succeeded. The machines sit ready, waiting, continuing their purpose, teaching the next generation what David taught Robert, that work matters, character matters, kindness matters most of all, and that sometimes, if you're very lucky, you get to see the results of seeds you planted decades ago. David planted seeds in summer 1982. One desperate kid at a time. Robert Harrison was the harvest. 100 Farmalls were the proof. And the cycle continues. Through the 90 tractors given away. Through the kids they'll teach. Through the lessons they'll carry. Kindness compounds in ways we never see. Until one morning, 100 red tractors appear in your field. And you realize that nothing you do is ever truly forgotten. Every kindness matters. Every chance given creates ripples. Every seed planted grows. Sometimes for 43 years, sometimes into 100 Farmalls, always into something greater than we imagine. That's the miracle. That's the lesson. That's everything. Epilogue, 6 months later, June 2026 ***. The documentary crew wants to interview David. They're making a film about Robert Harrison's life, the billionaire who never forgot his roots. David agrees, reluctantly. He doesn't want attention, but Robert's story deserves to be told. They film at the farm. David showing them the 10 Farmalls he kept, telling them about summer 1982. What do you remember most about Robert? The interviewer asks. David thinks, really thinks. His hunger, not for food, for knowledge, for becoming someone different than who he was. He soaked up every lesson, every skill, every piece of advice. Did you know he'd become successful? I knew he'd become something. Didn't know what. But I knew he had drive, intelligence, work ethic. Those things lead somewhere. He credited you with saving his life. I didn't save anything. I gave him a job, a place to figure things out. He saved himself. But the job mattered. The job mattered because he made it matter. Because he chose to learn instead of just work. Chose to grow instead of just survive. The interviewer shifts topics. Why did you give away 90% of the tractors? Because hoarding gifts defeats their purpose. Robert gave them to me to pass forward. So I did. Do you know where they went? Every single one. I have a list. Schools, programs, young farmers. Each one went somewhere it would teach. Somewhere it would continue Robert's legacy. Can you share some examples? David pulls out a notebook. Handwritten entries, names, and locations. This Super-M went to Iowa State's agricultural program. Students learn restoration on it. Farmall H went to a young farmer in Missouri, single mother, needed equipment, couldn't afford it. Now she's farming 40 acres. He flips pages. More stories. This 450 went to an FFA chapter in Nebraska. Kids learn mechanics on it. This 300 went to a veteran starting a small farm. This C went to a preservation society. You tracked all of them. Of course I tracked them. Robert spent 40 years collecting them. I wasn't going to just scatter them randomly. Each one went somewhere meaningful. Somewhere Robert would approve. The interviewer pauses the recording, speaks off camera. Mr. Werner, this is remarkable. Do you realize what you've created? I haven't created anything. I'm just continuing what Robert started. You've created a network, 90 farms, schools, and programs connected by these tractors, connected by Robert's story, by your story, by the lesson of passing kindness forward. David hadn't thought of it that way, but the interviewer's right. 90 connections, 90 seeds planted, 90 chances for the cycle to continue. Asterisk, 1 year later, December 2026, the documentary premieres. 100 Farmalls, a story of gratitude wins awards, gets attention, goes viral. People want to visit David's farm, want to see the 10 Farmalls, want to hear the story firsthand. David's overwhelmed. Anne helps manage it. They create visiting hours, give tours, tell Robert's story. But something else happens. Something unexpected. The 90 recipients start connecting. The young farmer in Missouri emails the FFA chapter in Nebraska. The veteran contacts Iowa State. The Preservation Society reaches out to the trade school. They're creating community, sharing knowledge, supporting each other, all connected by red tractors, all linked by Robert's gratitude, all part of David's legacy. Tom watches it happen, sees his 93-year-old father becoming a hub, a center, a connector. Dad, you've built something bigger than you realize. I just gave away some tractors. You created a movement, a network of people who believe in passing kindness forward, who understand that what we give comes back multiplied. David sits on his porch, the 10 Farmalls visible in the shed, maintained, preserved, ready. He thinks about Robert, about summer 1982, about 1 year that rippled for 43 years, about one hitchhiking kid who became a billionaire, who never forgot, who said thank you in the most spectacular way possible. I miss him, David tells Anne. Never saw him after he left, but I miss him. He knew, that's why he sent the tractors. He was telling you he missed you too. Asterisk asterisk 5 years later, 2031, asterisk asterisk David Werner passes away, 97 years old, peaceful, at home, surrounded by family. His obituary mentions the Farmalls, mentions Robert Harrison, mentions the legacy of kindness. At his funeral, something remarkable happens. Representatives from all 90 recipients attend. The Missouri farmer, the Nebraska FFA kids, the veteran, the students, the programs, they come to honor David, to say thank you, to close the circle. Each one brings a photo, their Farmall, in use, teaching, working, continuing. Tom displays them all. 90 photos, 90 stories, 90 continuations of his father's kindness. My father gave a kid a job in 1982, Tom says at the service. That kid said thank you 43 years later. My father passed that thank you forward 90 times. Now, it's our turn to continue. The network continues. The Farmall community, they call themselves, connected by tractors, united by lessons, committed to passing forward. They meet annually, share knowledge, support each other, celebrate David's legacy and Robert's gratitude. New members join. People inspired by the story, people who want to be part of something meaningful. The 10 Farmalls David kept stay with the family. Tom maintains them. His children learn on them. His grandchildren will inherit them. Machines that are more than machines. Connections across generations. Proof that kindness never dies. Asterisk, asterisk, present day, 2035, asterisk, asterisk, the Farmall community has grown to 200 members. Original 90+ new additions, all committed to the principle, pass kindness forward. They've started a scholarship fund, the Robert Harrison Memorial Scholarship, for kids who need a chance, who need someone to believe in them. Just like David believed in Robert. Just like Robert thanked David. Just like David passed it forward. The cycle continues, multiplies, compounds. One job given in 1982 has created a movement spanning decades, touching hundreds, teaching thousands. Tom Werner, now 75, manages his father's farm, gives tours to the Farmall community visitors, tells the story to new generations. My father was a simple farmer, he always starts. Gave a hitchhiking kid a job. Didn't think much of it. Just doing what neighbors do. 43 years later, 100 tractors showed up, worth millions. From that kid, who became a billionaire, who never forgot, my father gave away 90 of them, to people who needed them, to programs that would teach, to places that would continue the lesson. Now we're here, connected, community, All because one man gave one kid one chance. That's the lesson. That's the legacy. That's what these tractors represent, not machines. Kindness, gratitude, continuity. Pass it forward. Always pass it forward. The story lives on. In red tractors, in taught lessons, in given chances. David Werner died not knowing the full impact of what he started, but the impact continues, grows, multiplies. Robert Harrison died knowing he'd said thank you, but not knowing his thank you would create a movement. Both men lived simple lives, guided by simple principles: work hard, stay honest, help others, pass it forward. Those principles created something extraordinary, not because they were unique principles, because they were lived principles, acted on, demonstrated, passed forward. 100 Farmalls showed up at David Werner's door in December 2025 from someone he helped in summer. 1982. That spectacular gift created ripples, still spreading 10 years later, 20 years later, forever later, because some gifts never stop giving, some debts never finish paying, some kindnesses never stop multiplying. David gave Robert 1 year. Robert gave David 100 Farmalls. David gave the world 90 examples. The world keeps giving back. That's how it works. That's how it's always worked. That's how it always will work. Kindness compounds. Gratitude multiplies. Legacy lives forever. In machines that are more than machines. In stories that teach generations. In principles that never die. 100 Farmalls. One spectacular thank you. One eternal lesson. Pass it forward. Always pass it forward. The cycle never ends. The gift never stops. The story continues. That's everything. Asterisk, asterisk, final reflection. The Farmall M, asterisk, asterisk, of the 10 tractors David kept, one stands apart. The 1939 Farmall M serial number, matching his father's original tractor from 1939. Robert found it, tracked down the actual machine David's father owned, bought it from a collector in Wisconsin, restored it to perfection. That tractor sits in the Werner family barn now. Tom's grandchildren learn to drive on it, just like Tom learned, just like David learned, just like David's father learned. For generations, one tractor, 86 years of continuity. The Farmall M isn't the most valuable tractor in the collection. Not the rarest, not the most powerful, but it's the most important, because it represents what Robert understood. Machines can be more than machines. They can be connections, memory, legacy, love. Robert Harrison died at 61, never married, no children, no direct legacy. But his legacy lives in the Farmall community, in the scholarships, in the taught lessons, in the continuing kindness. He lives in the young farmer in Missouri who named her daughter Anne after David's wife, in the FFA students who start every meeting with "Pass it forward," in the veteran who teaches other veterans to farm. He lives in every story told around the 100 Farmalls, in every lesson learned, in every chance given. David Werner lived 97 years, married 68 years, 3 children, 8 grandchildren, 14 great-grandchildren. His direct legacy is obvious: family, farm, community, but his extended legacy is the Farmall community, the 200 members, the principles passed forward, the kindness multiplied. He lives in every time someone gives a struggling person a chance, every time someone passes forward instead of paying back, every time someone remembers that 1 year of help can change 43 years of life. To men, one connection, one summer, created a movement that outlives them both, that teaches generations. that proves the impossible math of kindness. Give 1, get 100, pass 90 forward, create 200, keep 10, teach thousands. The math doesn't work, except it does, always has, always will. That's the final lesson, the ultimate truth, the eternal principle. Kindness is the only investment that always pays dividends, the only gift that multiplies in giving, the only legacy that lives forever. 100 Farmalls proved it. 2 men demonstrated it. Countless people continue it. The story never ends. Because kindness never ends. Because gratitude never expires. Because legacy never dies. David Werner gave Robert Harrison 1 year in 1982. Robert gave David 100 Farmalls in 2025. David gave the world 90 examples. The world gives back forever. That's the miracle. That's the lesson. That's everything worth knowing. Pass it forward. Always pass it forward. Trust the math of kindness. And maybe, just maybe, 43 years later, someone you helped will show up at your door with gratitude beyond measure. Or maybe they won't. Maybe you'll never know the impact. Maybe the ripples spread invisible. Doesn't matter. Pass it forward anyway. Because that's what David did. That's what Robert learned. That's what the Farmalls teach. 100 red tractors, sitting in perfect rows, saying thank you, saying you mattered, saying the cycle continues. Forever and always, the cycle continues. That's the story. That's the truth. That's everything.